We are back with another monthly wrap-up of some of the weird, bizarre, and even scary news to come out of Japan over the last month. So what happened over the last month or so? Let's take a look. Number 1. First up this month, on March 4th, a 33-year-old man entered a convenience store in Asahikawa City, Hokkaido, shortly after 10:30 p.m. He then walked over to the staff member behind the register and asked him a rather odd question. "Could you lend me some money?" Naturally, the staff member could not lend him any money, and, extremely confused and perhaps even a little weirded out, the staff member then called their manager. When told, "There's a man here demanding money," naturally the manager called the police, and the man was arrested. It's important to note the man wasn't robbing the store, no. He was literally just asking if he could borrow some money. Police didn't find any weapons on him and, to go with his story, no money either. At any rate, he admitted to the charges and nobody was harmed. Probably the safest, but also weirdest non-robbery that store has ever seen, I'd say. Number 2. A tweet went viral on March 18th for something honestly quite horrifying. "I was dreaming and heard a bang like something exploding. I could smell something burning, and when I checked it out, I found my PSP battery had exploded and it was lying on the ground." Yikes. There have been lots of stories about this happening recently, and I even remember the horror master himself, Mr. Ito Masahiro, warning people to check their batteries not too long ago. But it seems another one bites the dust. The poster noted that their fingers got burnt from touching it, and it even burned their blanket as well, but thankfully a fire was avoided. This is your warning, guys. If you have an old PSP, maybe check the battery before your house burns down. Number 3. In what honestly might be my favorite piece of news from this month, the town of Kawara in Kyushu made waves after people discovered a rather interesting local initiative sweeping the town right now. The Old Man Trading Card Game. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Instead of battling with Pokemon, you can now whip out your deck of old guys with unique elemental powers and battle your friends. But the kicker here is that these aren't just any old guys. These are actual old men who live in town, and their powers are based off what they used to do. For example, the Firewall card is based on an old guy who used to be a firefighter. All-Rounder is based on an old prison officer. Soba Master is based on an old soba chef, etc. The town produces these cards locally, and it's part of an initiative to bring the community together, specifically young kids and the elderly, so the elderly can pass on their skills, and the young kids get to know their community better. And apparently it has been working, as kids have been excited to meet and even get the autographs of the old men on their favourite battling cards. And they've reportedly seen a marked rise in the number of kids attending local events now. Honestly, amazing. You love to hear it. Number 4. It was reported this month that a mystery illness seemed to be attacking train drivers in the Nakano area, and had actually been doing so for quite some time. Dubbed the Nakaden illness, train drivers in this particular area of Tokyo often reported feeling unwell, passing out, blurred vision, being unable to judge the train's speed, and in some cases, even vague memory loss while on the job. Obviously, not something you want even one train driver to suffer from, let alone numerous. Numerous investigations were carried out over the years to determine why this seemed to be so widespread in this one area. They tested the air, water, staff rooms, etc., but were unable to find anything that might make their drivers react this way. They even investigated whether it might be stress-induced, but weren't able to confirm that to be the cause either. It also seemed to strike drivers regardless of age, experience, gender, health history, and time of day worked. One theory was that maybe it was a sort of self-perpetuating illness, a mass anxiety shared by drivers in this one area because of all the other stories they had previously heard. But again, officials just couldn't figure it out. And even more oddly, reports of the Nakaden illness stopped after October 2024. Just like that. Whatever was causing it, it seemed to vanish, and nobody ever figured out what was happening. Nevertheless, they're keeping an eye on things in case it mysteriously returns again, and they have stated they don't yet consider this weird case closed. Number 5. If your kids are misbehaving and there just seems to be nothing you can do, well, where do you turn for help? Why, demonic red onis, of course. Japan has an app called Onikara Denwa, or Call from an Oni. And if the little ones just refuse to eat their rice or go to bed early, well, you can whip the app out and have a terrifying Oni tell them off. Because that'll show them. At any rate, the app got an update this month with real-life comedian Kintaro, known for her impressive expressions and imitations. This time around, she dresses up as a red Oni and is ready to tell your kids off with a variety of pre-recorded calls. The app makes it look like you're answering an actual phone call, and then you can let Kintaro terrify your children into behaving. The app is available in Japan right now. Number 6. Have you ever been to a cafe and, as you were eating or maybe drinking your coffee, thought, man, you know what would really elevate this experience? If there was a chance of getting cursed to go with my delicious mini pizza. Well, fear no more. Once again, Japan has you covered. On February 28th, the Cursed Object Cafe Juju opened in Suginami Ward, Tokyo. On the first floor, you can enjoy a somewhat cute and normal cafe experience, if you're not quite sure you're up to drinking with cursed objects pressing in on you at all times. But if you're brave, you can head up to the second floor, where you'll find all sorts of objects not for the faint of heart. These include cursed dolls, mummies, ritual masks, cursed videotapes, because of course. And apparently there's even a mirror that connects to the other side. You can enjoy all of this with your drink for just a 600 yen entry fee, so what are you waiting for? I always wanted to visit another world while sipping a cappuccino. Number 7. Another tweet went viral last month for something you probably don't want to see when you're bathing. I was in the bath when I heard something banging on the door, the tweet began. When I turned around, my son was doing this. I was terrified. Thankfully, it was just her son and not a creepy ghost or stalker, but honestly, if I turned around and saw that, either way I'm screaming and throwing a loofah or something at the door. And apparently the boy found his mother's reaction so funny that he has now been doing the same thing every day since. Probably time to call an exorcist. For the boy, of course. That kid's cursed. Number 8. How deep is your love for puffed rice? How much would you spend for art? Japan is asking these terribly important questions as Matsuyama Tomokazu, a Japanese-born, New York-based artist, opened an exhibition on March 8th this year in Azubudai Hills, Tokyo. To celebrate, he's doing a collaboration with none other than Umaibo, that delicious puffed rice snack that, after all these years, still only costs 15 yen to buy. But this special Umaibo won't cost 15 yen. No, it'll cost a cool 100,000 yen, which is roughly $600 or $700. For that price, you get a stock standard flavor Umaibo inside, and modern art packaging designed by Matsuyama on the outside. Whether you want to eat your incredibly expensive plain old Umaibo or display it forever as one of the most expensive puffs on the planet is up to you. But if you can pony up the cash, they're on sale now. Number 9. Have you ever gone to take a passport or ID photo, and as you're following the voice prompts, thought, man, I wish this machine would hit on me? Once again, fear no more, Japan has you covered. This March, Photo Booth ID Vox introduced the Falling in Love with the Photographer ID photo mode for their booths. You can select from 6 voices, with popular anime voice actors Tachiba Narika and Shirai Yusuke covering the female and male voices respectively, and each has their own personality. For example, you could pick the tsundere little sister type, who totally doesn't want to take your photo, but seeing as she has to, well, she'll take a good one. Or maybe the calm big brother type is more your style, so kick back, relax, and let him draw out your charms. Or maybe, like me, you're into the Osaka dialect, and if so, you can even pick that. These booths will be around for the next year, so if you find one, it sure sounds like an experience. Number 10. Finally this month, at long last, we got news on Silent Hill F, the newest Silent Hill game that's going to be set in Japan. It's based on the real location of Kanayama in Gifu Prefecture, which had many Japanese fans questioning why it wasn't instead set in Shizuoka Prefecture, which I'm sure you already know can be translated in English as, well, Silent Hill. At any rate, Japanese fans are excited to see what Ryukishi has whipped up for us this time, pointing out that Siren was apparently an inspiration for Higurashi, and perhaps we'll get to see some things he didn't or couldn't explore in Higurashi with this title. It seems to be going for an incredibly dark turn, even for Silent Hill, so I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited. Hopefully we don't have to wait too much longer for it to come out because I'm very much ready. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying? Weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.